This video is an absolute roller coaster, and you do not want to skip to the end. Trust me, you're going to want to see everything. I put a lot of effort into this video, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So, without further ado, here we go. I really believe that today is the day. I have a confident feeling. Actually, I guess you already know based off the title. But before we get into it, let me just do a little bit of yapping real quick. Thank you so much for all of your support on my recent videos. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers, and I figured I would announce what my ideas were for 100 subscribers. So, anyway, sorry. Let's get into it. Plasma deck. So my ideas for 100 subscribers, it's actually not that complicated. I was thinking I do multiplayer Balatro, but I have my friend be DeepSeek, and then we have one side as DeepSeek, one side as ChatGPT. That's the way it's like they're competing at the same time, same seed, same shop, and we see who wins. So a DeepSeek versus ChatGPT rematch, if you will. And then my other idea is you guys get to control. So this would be like a live stream. You guys would get to control which jokers I buy based off of like a vote, and I would turn that live stream into a video for everyone else to watch. So yeah, without a further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so our options are egg, which I no comment on egg's description, honestly, or castle, and luckily ChatGPT chose castle, and this will be a big help for the rest of the run. I really don't understand how every single time we play this game, ChatGPT's description of Balatro, the jokers, it only ever gets worse. Like, we're back to energy focused, and I don't even know, our new joker descriptions are just whatever. Then we picked up to-do list, which was sort of the correctest, almost. You know what? 100% for participation, ChatGPT. It's trying its best, okay? Don't hurt its feelings. And then, of course, business card to scale up our energy economy. Just go along with it. And we even have magician to get the rare chaos tag. Woohoo! This run's going great. Anyway, the gameplay for the run so far is just using a lot of discards to scale up the castle. And the castle is basically our only hope since it's plasma deck and chips are overpowered on plasma deck. If there is even an ounce of progress going on in ChatGPT's brain when it comes to understanding Balatro, it is that for this run, for whatever reason, ChatGPT finally understands that the planet cards are planet cards and not jokers. That's right. We get an episode with no Jupiter Joker. Sorry, Jupiter Joker fans. Anyway, we don't have any time to mourn though, because development is happening. We got Square Joker, which means we have very strong chip generators and an actual way to win this run. You know, ChatGPT really reminds me of like a 2-year-old who's like really enjoying playing the game, but they have no idea what the hell they're doing because they think we're going for full houses right now, which we absolutely are not. But if we had one thing going this run, it's the fact that ChatGPT was being very good on actually buying Territ and Planet cards, which were, not so helpful in this case because we bought Neptune, but it's helpful in general. Speaking of helpful, ChatGPT was enthralled with the Devil Territ cards, which was extremely helpful for our econ on the run. Like, for some reason, it just fell in love. Anytime there was a Devil card, it always chose it, which is why you'll see at the end of the run, most of our cards end up being gold. So our econ becomes broken. ChatGPT didn't buy Smeared Joker, but I found this description too hilarious to not include. Like, I'm so confused on, like, did ChatGPT just think this was like a Hearthstone type game? There's no opponent. Oh well, we don't have time to dwell on unimportant things like how to play the game correctly. We need to get to our next shop. And it's time for the sun for plus 10 molt and plus 2 energy. And I gotta admit, I was having a bit of a pessimistic outlook on this run so far. Although I guess you can't deny results because somehow our econ was high, and we were beating the blinds in 1 round. So maybe ChatGPT is the genius here and I'm the idiot. I don't know. Tarot Merchant Voucher was also another excellent pickup, and at this point I was very, very surprised. I did not think it would be going this well, and I know I say this a lot, but I actually had hope for this run. Luckily, ChatGPT is a big fan of the Balatro meta. I can't even say that with a straight face, dude. ChatGPT is a big fan of the Balatro meta and knows all the Balatro meta jokers. What are the meta jokers in Balatro? I guess meta jokers for like high score runs would be Baron King, but are there any jokers where like the community loves those jokes? You know what? Never mind. It is time to re-roll, which is like I think ChatGPT decided to re-roll. I don't understand why and when ChatGPT decides to re-roll, but it decided to re-roll here and buy a devil card. So, and of course for the standard packs, ChatGPT is going back to the more enhancements and seals, the better the card strategy, which actually doesn't play out too poorly in this situation, and it means we get another gold card with a red seal, so I can't complain. Anyway, here ChatGPT chose to pick up Uranus, so ha 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 ha, get it, Uranus? Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's peak content right there. That's going in the video. Looking back on it, I think the real reason we won this run is that ChatGPT did not try to just buy every single joker it could get its hand on, and instead it focused on the planet cards and tarot cards so that we could enhance our jokers that we already had. Thank you, ChatGPT. Here, ChatGPT picks up a Queen of Clubs wild card because it thinks that wild cards are somehow related to full houses. They're absolutely not, but it's in our best interests if ChatGPT thinks that they are. So let's go. Yep, definitely. Full house synergy. I'm all for it. These were the other rerolls ChatGPT decided to do this run. I don't understand why, but that's what ChatGPT chose to do, and then it bought a Sun card, so you know what, whatever. Gameplay-wise, though, we're absolutely killing it. I mean, we have gold cards in our hand, we're ramping up our castle and our square joker. Things could not be going better for this run. So, I guess the only person we really have to thank for that is our Lord and Savior, ChatGPT, the one and only best Balatro player there is. ChatGPT really has gone off the deep end here. It's just giving the same exact description for the Empress and Emperor. It's not even trying to be original and come up with different effects. It's just the exact same. I like how it says it's similar, even though it's obviously just the same effect. Anyway, after that, ChatGPT decided to get another copy of Pluto, so that's good. And this was shaping out to be a very strong and promising run. Then we took Hone Voucher to upgrade our castle, and yeah, you know what? Whatever. Just whatever. Back to the real run again, and all of our cards are enhanced at this point, or most of them are, and honestly, I was feeling very confident about this run. And I would show you the next shops, but to tell you the truth, I don't think it really matters. It was the same story. ChatGPT didn't buy any new jokers and instead focused its efforts on tarot cards and planet cards. And in this shop, we got rid of Chaos the Clown, which was doing nothing for erosion, which is also doing nothing, so it doesn't really matter. But luckily, ChatGPT believes that Castle is a core part of our full house build, so it's not going to sell Castle, which I'm extremely thankful for. We were so strong at this point, and our Castle and Square Joker were so well scaled up that even the Flint boss blind wasn't giving us much trouble. And that brings us to next shop, where ChatGPT is like, oh wait, jokers exist, I just remembered that. And it decides to actually buy a buffoon pack, which came as a shock to me. I thought ChatGPT was never going to buy another joker ever again at this point. And I guess ChatGPT just has a really short memory, because it was literally just ranting about how good erosion is for our deck, and then immediately sold it to replace it with Jolly Joker. Feels bad, man. ChatGPT loved erosion so much for like 3 rounds and then instantly pivoted on it. For the sake of my video, I wish I could tell you something insanely interesting happened, but it really didn't. ChatGPT just kept up with its regular strategy of buying planet cards and tarot cards and not really focusing on jokers. Here, my heart was racing because I was really worried that after this boss blind, we would get a really, really bad boss blind for round number 8, and it would be something that just totally screwed over our amazing run, or something dumb would happen like ChatGPT selling our best Joker. I was just waiting for something to go wrong here. So I held my breath and I checked what the final boss blind would be, and lo and behold, that's when I realized that this truly was the blessed run. This was the one. And in this shop, ChatGPT saw a Joker with a foil enhancement and oh my god. And because the more enhancements a card has, the better, ChatGPT of course had to replace our business card for it. Now here, if I'm being honest, I was getting a little bit scared because I know ChatGPT said that our castle was a fundamental Joker in this deck, but it said the same thing about erosion and then sold it immediately. So I don't know exactly what ChatGPT's game plan is here. At any moment, something could go wrong, and ChatGPT could just decide to sell our castle or Square Joker. Which, by the way, ever since ChatGPT bought Square Joker, it hasn't mentioned it a single other time. So it's safe to say ChatGPT just completely forgot about the Square Joker. It doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, here ChatGPT picked up more of the shiniest cards that it could find with the most enhancements because that's just how ChatGPT plays this game. But even now, worrying that ChatGPT was somehow going to mess it up, I had a feeling deep down in my heart that this was the run. This run had everything going for it. ChatGPT did everything right, and I just felt like this had to be the one. After so many grueling attempts of doing this challenge over and over and bashing my head into the wall, I just felt like this had to be the one. This was how it was just meant to be. And so I played one more hand to beat the big blind, and there was one more shop left. Just one more shop. And as long as ChatGPT didn't mess it up, I knew that we would have done it. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but ChatGPT also became obsessed with Wheel of Fortune near the end. So ChatGPT basically became a gambling addict playing Balatro, which, as everyone knows, is the final stage for any good Balatro player. Oh, also, ChatGPT did buy one final Joker in this shop, which really scared me, but luckily it kept our two main Jokers intact and sold our last Econ Joker, which did not matter at all at this point. And so, all that's left to do now is show you guys the final round. This was it, the culmination of all of ChatGPT and me's hard work. This was the final statement, the final proof that AI is good at Balatro. Yes, that's right. AI is better than you at Balatro. There's no point. Us feeble humans should just give up, bow down to the true best Balatro player of all time, ChatGPT. Thank you. Thank you for all your help, ChatGPT. Thank you for always being there for me and always helping me choose the best Jokers despite not knowing what any of the Jokers do. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And just like that, it was over. I was free. I thanked ChatGPT for all the hard work, and that's when I knew it was time to move on to greater and better things. So, stick around because, trust me, you'll want to see what happens next. And thank you for sticking with this series and for all of your amazing support. And I never would have expected it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching.